At a minimum, the natural resources of Hakalau Point need to be protected from development.
And our community is united in desiring that it not be developed for residential or industrial development.
You see all of the public open spaces where they're protected. You don't have anything on the Hamakua coastline. None protected of our culture and our history. None. And I think we need to start looking at that as the community has encouraged me to. And that's why I'm fighting. I'm fighting for their voices. And I want to thank Steve for coming, and I want to thank him for allowing our meetings to take place in my office.
I've invested a lot in this community. I've invested a lot in this dream, and I've invested a lot in this property. As a farmer and as a business person, I come from this from an economic development perspective. I've always been in private enterprise, and I believe that private enterprise plays a significant role in the redevelopment of this coastline. And Valerie and I have had the conversation, and I've said, really, the appraised value of this thing, or the assessed value, has no relationship to what I paid for it, or two, what I would accept for it. So, and the punk letter that I did receive stipulated that we never buy anything, unless it's at assessed value. Valerie and I have had a conversation, and we've basically said, I should be entitled to my carrying costs. I've held the property for 10 years, interest carry. I've mentioned some of those macro categories to you, and I have. This is not something I pulled out of the air. It's something that this number has a basis to it. I've also said that it's important to me that the Hakalau Valley be sold with this parcel, because to me it's part of the Ahupua'a, and really that's where ultimately where the public open space should take place. So that's why I'm insistent that these two parcels be sold together. So I don't know if you've had a chance to review the letter that I sent to the Punk Commission. I honestly think that should be part of this conversation. The two parcels go together. The price is $4.25 million. Those are my terms.
The subsequent letter came through from Mr. Shropshire that indicated that he wanted to include the additional 87 acres, but we haven't received an application for the additional 87 acres, so we're only addressing the approximately 9 acres that are at Hakalau Point at this point in time.
I don't want to leave this room today and then be called a SOB because, I didn't negotiate. I've already stipulated my terms. This isn't elementary school. This is the big leagues. We're having a serious professional conversation here where real money's been spent, real time's been spent, and this is not. I don't want this to get personal. I've already told you that even though I have 13 years of my life, that I will defer and do the right thing. But these are the terms by which I'll do it. And I don't want to create more ill will in the community because I'm a greedy son of a bitch, and that's part of my terms. But I don't want that to happen. I wasn't trying to sell the property. I'm trying to do what I think is the right thing to create economic development opportunities for the community. So I just want to be clear that as we move forward, we do it respectfully, and that you are under the impression that, again, there's all kinds of ways to get there. Partial trade, private public.
Correct.
But I don't want to I don't want to be in a week from now be that guy that everybody's talking about. So
right. No, and sit down, negotiate, and everybody. There's a win-win situation. Then fine, but I cannot go and force any of one of you guys to sell your properties because it's not fair, right? Even though it might be on private. I mean, Brad, if we have the opportunity to get that other 87 acres, won't you guys be happy with that?
All in favor of favorable recommendation for resolution 535, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, that's 9 ayes. Mr. Onishi was a Kanalua aye.